Next, we've got our first touchdown round robin. Last week, no luck, but if we can get back to hitting 2 of these legs, that would be 3 times in the past 5 weeks. That still feels like a hot streak to me. So give us some names this week. Who are we looking at?
That is still some pretty good momentum. We're not going too far outside the top of the board this week. Actually, 4 of them, I believe, are straight from the top 6 or 7. I'll pull it up here and we'll go through them one by one. Starting off with Travis Etienne against the Jets, which is obviously a great matchup. He's the second highest of the whole week. We are passing over CMC as the highest at 20%. He's just plus 250, which is a really steep price for a touchdown. For a first touchdown, rather, without any value. His fair odds would be about plus 400, so just not quite there. But Etienne's fresh off a 2 TD game after laying an egg in a great Week 13 matchup. Jets hold one of the worst rushing defenses in the league, almost 140 yards per game, 17 touchdowns allowed. That's tied for the third most in the NFL. Been even worse in the second half of the season with almost 2 rushing scores per game, 62.5% red zone conversion rate to opponents. Worst in the league since week 9. Book Travis Etienne for our first leg. Derrick Henry, going to go right back to him in a spot that he did well in against the Bengals in week 12. Also cashed his first TD in that week with a 28-yard run. Matchup remains the same against the previously mentioned worst rushing defense in the league with a 63.4% red zone conversion rate. Henry's basically the only thing going right at all for the Ravens right now. Always potential to break a big play from anywhere on the field and go to the house. Top 5 probability from our model in this very good spot. Next up, the only receiver in this week's try is Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's been in here. Probably the most featured player in here, maybe besides Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey. We've got him twice, though. We'll see if he can cash us a third time. JSN's got 5 TDs in his past 5 games. 2 games, he's got a pair of scores. No one's been able to shut him down at all. In his worst game all year, which he had against the Vikings a couple weeks ago, it was a 26-0 blowout. He just wasn't needed. It wasn't because they were able to cover him. He's the highest wide receiver on the board this week at 13%. He's sitting just outside the top 5 overall, which I believe is the highest we've seen for a wide receiver all year. Even Devontae Adams on his torrid streak. And might go overlooked, but JSN's not just a big play guy. He's converted 13 red zone looks into 5 touchdowns. So they use him in short yard situations at the goal line as well. 60% red zone conversion rate allowed for the Cardinals. The Colts. Saquon Barkley. Only thing that went right for Philly in this last game was Saquon looking like his old self. Vegas tied for the second most touchdowns allowed this season with 18. He's averaging 1.2 per game to running backs since week 9, over 118 rushing yards. Just really, really bad rushing defense from the Raiders. If the Eagles can't keep the Raiders out of the end zone first, I really don't know what to tell you, and I don't know how to bet the Eagles the rest of the way. But the best thing this offense can do is to get a jolt of energy, would be getting Saquon going for a couple games in a row. Hurts is struggling lately. Might want to just turn the ball over to their best player and see if he can get it going early for them. 12% probability for Saquon. Same odds as Hurts in this game, but with a better matchup position-wise. And finally, Travion Henderson. We're looking at the marquee game of the afternoon here in Bills-Pats. The only defense that has allowed more rushing touchdowns than the Raiders and Jets, who are both featured in this, that would be the Bills. Well-rested Patriots bring their 2-man backfield up against a very soft rushing defense that can't stop anyone this year. Even as the Bills have gotten a little bit better yards-wise, they've given up 1.5 touchdowns per game to running backs since week 9. Disappointingly saw Henderson cede some work to Ramondre after he came back, but he's still our top projected back of the 2 in this game. He is less than 0.5% behind Cook for the highest first TD probability, but Ramondre is 5%, Diggs is 6.5%. His 10% is the highest by a pretty sizable margin for the Pats. And we'll note that last week with Stevenson in, they went Ramondre on the first drive to set it up and immediately shifted to Henderson in the red zone, where the Bills are allowing 60% red zone conversion rate. So Anytime TD parlay here is plus 1410. Everyone's 44% or higher to at least find the end zone. Pretty solid matchups, solid cast of guys here. Let's see if we get back to the wins.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Big names on the list this week, and I'm rooting for this one to come to fruition. We need that big 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 week before the season ends. I've got a good feeling this week. Reminder with Dimers Pro, you get our projections hub to its fullest extent. That includes first touchdown probabilities, anytime touchdown probabilities, 2+ and 3+ touchdown probabilities. Whoever's going to score this weekend will tell you how likely it is to happen before it happens. And with Dimers Pro, 50% off, promo code podcast. Get the best deal you can on your Dimers Pro subscription.